Hello guys, welcome to our class of number 8. And on the last class we add bullets to the game. So right now our game is looking like this. We have the weapon. If we shoot, basically it decreases the bullets that we have in our pocket, and we can shoot if it doesn't have any bullet. But we can go always right here and then pick more ammo right here, right? And then shoot again and pick more ammo. So basically today, what we are going to do is add a enemy system in the game. So right now the game is only here, we can only shoot stuff and pick more ammo, but it doesn't have any kind of place to shoot, I guess, and it doesn't have any goals. So on today's class we're gonna start developing the part in which we add a little bit more, a little bit more spicy to the game, because we're gonna add the enemy, and with the enemy we can then add a score system, we can make a game over scene, we can make some kind of challenge. Alright, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So first of all, there should be a link in this page in which you're going to be able to find this page right here. Alright, so that's a ghost balloon. It doesn't need to be exactly this one, but this one is pretty cool. If you can get it, it's very awesome, because it already comes with breakable parts in which we're going to use with the damage. If you don't have this model and you want to use another model, feel free to use. There's no obligatory use for this one, but it would be very nice if you could use this one, because as I said, it have this kind of a breakable parts, and we can use and we will use in the future in the next classes. So basically, as we did with other kind of assets before, I'm gonna click open in Unity, open in Unity Editor, and then it's going to show up right here on the package manager of Unity. Here I'm going to re-download. Probably in your only is going to appear download. After you download it, you can import, and then you're going to have the folder Balloon Ghost. Let's import it as well. Okay, Balloon Ghost. Alright, so basically Balloon Ghosts have a lot of different parts right here. One that is important is the prefabs, because that is the one that already have animations and already have everything that we need, basically. So first of all, let's drag and drop one Balloon Ghost right here. Alright, what I'm going to do right here is add the first one. So Balloon Ghost mix it right here, right? So here on the main camera, what I'm gonna do is just basically I'm gonna drag and drop this Balloon Ghost. You can see it's pretty huge. I'm just gonna put it a little bit over, and we can decrease a little bit the size of it so it looks nice. And as you can see, these Balloon Ghosts have a problem with the shader, so that's why it's purple. So usually when it's purple, it's because you have a problem with the material or the shader of that. Basically, that's kind of easy to fix. If you open this Balloon Ghost right here, open that one until you reach the object. The object is called Loon Ghost. That's the one that we need to fix. So this one will have this part, dark red material, and the shader, it's an internal error. So it's basically missing. It's not finding in this project. So we're gonna change this shader from that error stuff that is causing this problem to standard, and then we're gonna have our ghost working fine right here. Alright, so yeah, that's basically how we do. So Loon Ghost here, and then standard. Alright, so right here you can see that this Balloon Ghost have a script and an animation. You should have an animation somewhere. Let's see if I pick the correct one. Yeah, anyway, you have this script right here called Break Ghost. This script, basically what it does, it's when is breaked is checked, and we're gonna check this later with another script. what is checked is going to basically do a dismount effect on the ghost. So right now I'm gonna play the game just so you guys can see the model. Okay, so that's our ghost, right? Right, it's in the ground. It looks like a snake anyway. It's because of the rigid body. But anyway, if it's break it and I play the game, you will have something like this. Pretty cool. So that's the effect that we're gonna have when we shoot at it. All right? Okay, so basically with that ghost right here, what I'm going to be doing right here is make that ghost use artificial intelligence inside of the game. So I'm just gonna go back a little bit to the prefab right here, and we're gonna change some stuff in the balloon ghost, and then I'm gonna drag and drop this as a prefab inside of Unity. All right. So in order to have artificial intelligence inside of Unity, there is a very easy way to make this artificial intelligence. We're not gonna need to go crazy with this, but basically we're gonna need to bake the terrain in a way that Unity will see which part is walkable and which part is not walkable. And once we bake the terrain, we can use something called nav mesh agent. And this nav mesh agent is going basically calculate the right path from the point that the object is, from the position that the object is, to the destination point. So for example, we're gonna bake the map, and then later with scripting, what we are going to do is just say, hey, find the player and follows the player. So until follow the player until some kind of distance. So basically, we are going to need to find the player through some kind of way. Probably going to use some find game object, something like this, based on a tag. So we're going to need to make our player have a tag player. And then after this, we are just going to put in the line of script, hey, find the player and follow it. And that's it. That's the artificial intelligence. The whole difficult part Unity already does in the background. We're just going to do a little bit of tweaking here and there, just make sure that everything is fine. But there's not going to be any kind of difficult scripting for that part. And then I'm going to divide the class in basically two different classes. So today we're going to import the model, and we're going to make sure that it's actually following the player and is finding the player. So make sure that it's working properly. And then on the next class, we're going to do the damage system. So every time that we shoot at the ghost, it will break down. And maybe we can make a score system, something like this. But anyway, I'm going to divide this class in two different parts. The first one, the movement and the artificial intelligence for following. And the next part, basically the damage system that is going to make with the player and also receive from the player with bullets. So yeah, that's it. That's how we're going to do it. And in the further classes, basically we're going to increment a little bit more the artificial intelligence and the game itself. So in order to start with the artificial intelligence, we're going to need to go to Window, AI, Navigation, and then it's going to open this window right here. Here is where we are going to bake our space to tell Unity where is the walkable place or not. This basically happens automatically, so you don't need to worry about it. Just go to Bake, and then Clear. You can click Clear, just make sure that you clear whatever you have, and then you're going to call Bake. Going to start to bake, and after it bakes, you're going to see that the walkable area is going to turn blue. And it should be basically the terrain for us. It should take a while. Alright, so you can see right here, that's the whole blue area. This whole area is walkable for our ghost. And if you think about it, it can kind of walk through anything because it's a ghost, but anyway. That's the part that Unity understands as a walkable place, and it's going to follow this place to follow the player. Alright, so once we have this done, and make sure that you do it before doing anything because we're going to need to use it, I'm going to close this window, and I'm going to go back to the ghost, and I'm going to add a component called nav mesh agent. So that's the component right here. So that's the component responsible for everything that we're gonna do later, based on the movement. So this, you can take a look on radius and height right here. It's very, very low. You can even see it. So I'm gonna just make sure that my radius is bigger. You can kind of see the green area right here. I'm trying to fit the ghosts. And then the height. You can see that the height only goes up, right? That's because this is considering that the ghost is right here. So what we're gonna need to do is just basically pick the ghost and move it up until it is on the green part. All right. Maybe even a little bit more, just so it appears to be floating, but don't go crazy with it. Okay, so if we play the game right now, it should be stopped right there with this collision. Oh yeah, and sure, it can't be its break. All right. Okay, so you see, like it kind of floats right now, so it's working fine. All right, it just needs to follow the player, and that's what we're going to be doing next. So basically right here on script, I'm going to create a new script, and I'm gonna call it something like ghost movement. All right, and then I'm gonna open it up. In order to do the artificial intelligence for the ghost, as I said before, we're going to need to say to the ghost which kind of target it have. So basically, we need to go back to Unity on main camera, and it is main camera right here, but I'm going to change from main camera to player. All right, just to make sure that it finds the player. And then inside of the script, we're gonna need to do some steps. First, we're gonna need to import the library for artificial intelligence. So here on Unity, using Unity Engine, we're gonna jump online and put using Unity Engine.ai. So that's the library responsible for artificial intelligence. That's the one that we're gonna use to say to the character, hey, follow the player. Another variable that we're gonna need to use, actually another two variables that we're gonna need to use, one of them can be private, does not need to be public, is going to be navmesh agent. And basically the name can be navmesh. That's the component. So this one we're gonna get from the get component using inside of start. The other one is actually going to be a game object, and this one is going to be the player. So player. All right. So two variables, one for navmesh that we're gonna use to make the artificial intelligence, and the other one is going to be the player. Both we're gonna need to set up in the start. If you think about it, it makes sense to the ghost to know where the player is from the very start where it existed. So if some ghost is being created, then the player, then it already knows where the player is. And the same thing for the navmesh. So let's go first with the navmesh. Navmesh is gonna get this information from its own component. So navmesh is going to be equal to this get component, and then the component is gonna be navmesh agent. All right, so if we have a navmesh, it's going to pick this one, and I know we have because we add to the balloon. The other one is we're gonna use a little bit different because we're gonna need to tell Unity to try to find for us. So it's gonna be game object find game object with tag. Be careful, do not write find game object because it's a very similar way, but it's not object, only one object. And the tag of the object is going to be player. Alright, so we have navmesh and we have player. Basically, to make it follow, since the player will change its position in kind of every frame, we're gonna need to use on update a way to update the frame for it, the position for it. So inside of update, we're gonna do navmesh set destination, and then the destination is going to be the position of the player. So player transform position. And I wrote transform wrong. Transform. Alright. So every single player, the ghost is basically looking for the player. And it's, I know by the tag that it's going to find it automatically. So with that done, I'm going to go back to Unity. Right, it's loading. In the ghost, I'm going to drag and drop the ghost movement. And then the player, I don't need to put anything because if I play the game, it's already going to be automatically set right there. Right? And you can kind of see that the zombie is already trying to follow me. Right? Let me put on maximize it right here. Okay, I have a problem. Let me see which problem it is. 51. I think because I changed the camera, right? What I'm going to do actually, I think is going to be better. I'm going to change the main camera tag to main camera so we don't have this problem right here. And the player, it's going to be the bit gun. Just because I guess that way we won't have so much problems. Okay, so it's trying to go to the bit gun. You can see right here. If you think it's too big, you can kind of make it smaller. But I kind of like it the way it is, like very, very big. And it's going to get very close to us. And then it kind of tweak a little bit and then go away from us. We can fix the way that it behaves, the balloon, based on the nav mesh. So a way that I can change, for example, I can change the speed. I can make it slower or faster. And I can make a stop distance. So for example, let's say the stop distance is equal to 10. So it's not gonna follow until the end. You see, like, it stops kind of at speed of 10. I think 10 is too low for this. Let me put maybe 5. Yeah, 5 seems kind of good, you know? And I can shoot at it. Oh, yeah, yeah, like it should be when I shoot at it, it should go with the break-in, like with the reach the body. You see that I kind of need to fix my aiming right here. It's not very correct. But yeah, anyway, the thing is, after we have this following, of course in the next class we're gonna make more stuff with it. But I'm just gonna rename this guy to Ghost. And then I'm gonna drag and drop into prefab. Right? So original prefab. And then I have this Ghost right here. The thing is, I can now put this guy, I can put a lot of these fellas right here in the game. And then if I play the game, they should follow me. You see, like real enemies. Oops, they even kind of hit the aim box. Oh, yeah. But anyway, right here. And we can start shooting at them. You can see that the bullet, actually, the bullet kind of hit it and goes away. See? All this we're gonna change them on the next few classes, in which we're gonna aim with damage and all this stuff. And anyway, maybe just fix a little bugs that you have. But all of them is trying to fix, trying to follow me in the beginning of the game, and that's what we want. Alright, so thank you guys very much for this class. I hope you guys like it. If you want, you can try with different models. It's pretty cool. And in the next class, we continue with our game. Bye bye.